The Lavender Witch Quest of the Supreme. In the heart of an ancient jungle, where the air hummed with forgotten magic, Kelvin the Lavender Witch stood beside the goddess Hecate. Before them, a door of living green swung open, revealing a path to a sun-drenched meadow. Hecate turned to her, her eyes as old as the stars. "Ready for the third challenge?" she asked, her voice a whisper on the wind. A confident smile played on Kelvin's lips. She adjusted her lavender hat, the sheer fabric catching the dappled light. "I was born ready," she replied, her voice ringing with determination. Together, they stepped through the verdant portal, leaving the dense jungle behind. They found themselves in a vast, flat meadow, an endless sea of green under a perfect sky. They walked for what felt like an eternity, the only feature in the landscape, a small, shimmering oasis in the distance. The air was still and silent. Suddenly, the ground began to tremble. With a deafening roar, a colossal temple of ancient, classy design burst through the earth, its long, steep steps reaching for the heavens. They began their ascent up the long, imposing staircase. With each step, the sheer scale of the dragon temple became more apparent. As they neared the entrance, Hecate spoke again, her tone grave. "Remember," she said, placing a hand on Kelvin's shoulder, "I cannot help you in here. I can only advise." They entered the temple. The interior was breathtaking. A grand hall dominated by a giant, ornate mirror. Its frame, intricately carved from what looked like the bones of a dragon, held a polished, reflective surface. As Kelvin approached, the mirror's surface rippled and shifted, transforming into a clear, watery substance that swirled with inner light. A voice, ancient and powerful, boomed from the mirror, echoing through the hall. "Hello, little witch. This trial is a test. Win, and you may face me. Step through when you are ready." Kelvin turned to Hecate, but the goddess simply offered a faint, enigmatic smile. "Time to face yourself," she whispered. "Hopefully, I will see you soon." Not understanding Hecate's words, Kelvin took a deep breath and stepped through the watery portal. She found herself in a void, a space between worlds. Before her stood a figure that was her perfect reflection, but twisted. The same blonde hair, the same lavender dress, but with cruel eyes, and a pair of wicked lavender horns curling from her temples. "No way," the real Kelvin breathed, her eyes wide with disbelief. "You are not using my form." That's it. Fury ignited within her, and she lunged forward. The two witches locked in an immense battle. Lavender magic, bright and beautiful, clashed with a darker, more violent shade of the same power. Attacks and defensive spells flew between them, each a perfect counter to the other. They were equally matched, a whirlwind of lavender light and shadow. The battle raged, growing more explosive. Realizing a direct assault was futile, the true Kelvin did something unexpected. She reached out, not to her opponent, but to the cosmos itself. She summoned her lavender fairy wand, calling it directly from her husband's starship on the other side of the galaxy. A small lavender portal tore open, and the wand flew into her waiting hand. The moment she grasped it, her power boosted tenfold. A magnificent pair of lavender wings, woven from pure energy, unfurled from her back, shimmering with celestial light. Now, Dark Kelvin's power was no match. The true Lavender Witch, empowered by her bond and her unique weapon, began to overwhelm her shadowy counterpart. With a final, triumphant cry, Kelvin unleashed an insane blow of concentrated lavender power. It smashed through the Dark Witch's defenses, a wave of pure energy that consumed everything. The darkness vanished. Where her twisted double had stood, a patch of wild lavender now grew. With a soft poof, Kelvin found herself teleported back to the giant dragon temple. "Well done," Hecate said. "Clever. A new voice boomed, "Yes, clever little witch." A huge, green, serpentine dragon with a blue hue and crackling yellow lightning materialized before them. "I am Qinglong," the dragon roared, "and now you face me." Qinglong instantly sent a bolt of pure lightning down, striking the ground where Kelvin stood. She retaliated with a blast of lavender lightning of her own, and the final battle raged on, to be continued